Man, I could just fall in love with this music too. Hey there guys, gals, fans, and pals, John Megacycle here. Another episode of Tropico 5 coming at you. We're just going through a sandbox. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to go through the whole campaign. I already beat it single player. But I wanted to at least share like some of the fundamentals of the game and like what kind of attracts me to it. Any real games that I feel are solid. Oh, autosave. Any games that I really feel are solid and I really want to share with folks are the ones that I record. You're not going to see me recording games that it's like, hey, I recorded this game. This game, you know, go do whatever VPN for $50 or whatever. Nah.
His Majesty.
2 upgraded plantations. Mandate extended by 6 months. Excellent. I already have 1 upgraded. Tobacco, coffee. Let's upgrade banana. It gives me another 6-month mandate. Now I could ask for an additional 1-year mandate, which I think I will do. Just really get us plenty of room. We can stay in this age for a while.
After suffering 1,000 paper cuts, we have invented paper. It has print on it, where there will be a summary of important affairs, interviews with important Tropicans, and a page with political editorials. This will give a voice to every Tropican. Also, going to the little Presidente's room will be much more comfortable from now on.
I should really have turned up the audio on some of the voices, but that's okay. So anyway, I wanted to show Tropico 5. I think this is a fairly balanced, pretty solid game, to be honest. I played a lot of hours into this, and I've really enjoyed it. So, that being said, like, that's all I really wanted to get across. Like, that's why you'll see on my channel a bunch of old games. Like, old games, I mean, like, 1992? I think is when colonization came out? Something? Oh, that's the wrong button. I wanted to see how many unemployment we have. 6 unemployed. Could do another plantation. Yeah, we're starting to actually make some money. I wouldn't mind another dock. Another thing about this game is when it comes to logistics, I'll zoom in a little bit. You see all the carts moving in and out of the dock? After a while, a dock gets overwhelmed, meaning there's only so much product that can actually make it to the dock. So having an additional dock isn't a bad idea if you plan on, well, selling a lot of stuff. One of the game modes I really enjoy with this, it's not recommended at all, is actually playing agriculture only. I don't build any actual industry. No factories, no nothing. It actually is just a straight up agriculture build. So I need a lot of docks to make that work. So I'm going to get a dock online. Do I have enough workers for... I have a high school student, high school educated. I need college educated for another library. How much more research do we have? Red tape and constitution. Okay. We're at 42% approval rating as well. I'm hoping to get that a little more bumped up so we can actually get to the next age comfortably without a whole lot of him and hawing. Let's get a little more housing done. That should be more than plenty housing. Let's get some small gardens. Yeah, so things are going good. I think I've got everything pretty much dialed in terms of what we need for the next age. We have a tavern, we have a grocery store, we have religion, we have a bunch of stuff. So if we come to the almanac and check happiness, we can see where people are happy and anything that we need improvement on. Liberty is actually kind of low. We could build a newspaper. Religion is kind of low. We could build another missionary. Oh. More educated citizens. Yes, please. Oh, let's see here. Lower prices, 20%. 6 months mandate extension now upon completion. Prices should not change. Increase price by 20%. Let's lower prices by 20%. We'll export 10,000 fruits. I need a lot more export going on. Let's go ahead and set this to maximum budget. By holding control or shift, is it? Control clicking sets the budget for all buildings like this, and I've already done that. Let's go ahead. I wouldn't mind 2 more plantations. Oh, no, wait. How much workforce do we have? 1. Okay, I'm not building anything. Okay, all this fresh housing should be well more than enough for us for a while. Pretty happy with how this is going. We got over 3 years of stuff just sitting, so that's good too. Wow, the crown is generous. Yeah, things are looking good. We got a little bit of money stocked up. That's really good. We haven't touched into the military side at all, and I like to avoid the military side as much as possible.
We have invented red tape. It goes well with everything, and there is no limit to this stuff. People are going crazy over it. Lines are forming to get more of it. It almost seems like it is trying to grow bigger and bigger, all on its own.
Oh, I love this stuff. Comedy, everything is good. So yeah, I'm just actually gonna sit here for a moment and just chill. Like I said, a bunch of housing just got thrown up. That's gonna sit there for a while. Everything's looking pretty good. We've got a good amount of production. We've matched the unemployed. Oh, we got more people. Illiterate in grade school. Yeah, we can get another plantation going on. What do we have here? Tobacco, and I have tobacco right here. Yeah. I'll be doing restructuring of our plantations eventually, but for right now, I kind of want it close. I want it quick to the docks as fast as we can possibly get it, and that sort of a thing. Also, as I mentioned before, when it comes to housing, we want the houses to be close to where the people work. That's what makes that function better. People can walk to their jobs back and forth fairly easily. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, Constitution in 11 months. How is our church stuff? Very full, 100 visitors out of 100. I'm going to need another religiosity station. Religiosity station. There are special buildings we can build. One of the things we can build is Lighthouse, which adds additional trade offers. I'm just going to get that built now. There's no real rush for it, but just going to get that set. That's just something that's built, automagic. Nothing we got to screw with. Let's see here, the grocery. A lot of these upgrades I'm used to are upgraded, or are available in the next era. Not really a ton I can do at the moment about that. Opera House requires, I think, college students. Do I have enough college students? I don't think I do. I have one college student. Oof. Newspaper wouldn't be a bad plan. What does a Catholic mission require? High school. And I have how many high school? Just the one? One college. College can work at a high school. Like, they can always go down, but they can't go back up. Have a lighthouse. Okay. Hey, guess what? Oh, don't go into the light. I understand you have a lighthouse. His Majesty is to appoint a royalist as the new keeper of the lighthouse is the utmost importance.
It is of the utmost importance.
Yeah, that's what I said, dude. Now be a good chap and hire a royalist for the job. Hire a royalist. Increase revolutionary support. Hire a dynasty member. Let's just hire a royalist. It's fine. I don't mind the mandate extension. It's going to come to a point where we're not going to get any more options for mandate extension. It's just going to be, that's it. If you didn't pull your weight by now, sorry, dude. Just chilling. Just music. That's all there's to it.
Presidente. Woo, I'm getting ahead of myself. Governor. The island is ripe for revolution.
Cool. So effectively, what we're being told is we've reached the approval rating of 52%. If I click on this, we'll be able to proclaim our independence, and we'll do that one of two ways. We can either buy our independence, or what we can do is we can fight for it. Now, I did mention I stay away from military as much as possible, and there's a very good reason for that. One of the things that makes military fun is you can defend yourself against invaders. If you're playing multiplayer, you can actually go to war with other players. There's a couple of cool things you can do with it. Unfortunately, at this stage of the game, it requires a lot of people. There's a lot of extra workforce that I could have another plantation or 2 or 3 instead. The second thing is upkeep. I have to pay the troops. I have to support them. Supplies, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, it's a real economic pull right now, and I'd much rather just leave it as is.
Wait, the leader leaders of the Tropican nation, in our desire.
Okay, so that allows us to unlock a constitution, which we'll be able to do once we go to the next era. Another tavern right there. Unemployed. Oh, are we full up? Hold on. We full up again? Unemployed. I could easily do another plantation. This is brilliant. Okay, plantation. Oh, can I even fit one right here? Oh no. Yeah, sure can. Coffee? Is that what this is? Coffee, awesome. Let's upgrade the bean processing. Extensive fertilization I don't want. Staying in this era as long as you can isn't a bad deal, because we can maximize our efficiencies, our economy, all our stuff. We can get everything dialed in before we have to move to the next age. And that's important because when we do move to the next age, what'll happen 100% of the time, what's going to happen is the prices of agriculture products will drop. Not by like a massive margin, but enough, like, you know, if you're trading 1,000 of something and you're trading over and over and over, like tons of a product, it becomes problematic if the price drops, right? So we have to ship more product to make it work.
My friends
Have 4 docks.
that there's good money in buying and reselling goods at a profit.
Okay, so this is actually something that's interesting. If you didn't hear it, my friends the smugglers informed me that there's good money buying and selling goods at a profit. Let's go ahead and just hit accept. There's no penalty for not completing it, not a big deal. Let's go to trading real quick. Now, as you can see here, there are a couple of deals. We could import corn at 480 and then sell corn at 600. Right there is 120 flop. Not that big of a deal. Works out pretty well. And I don't have to deal with it. It's just all automagic. Here's corn at 400. I could flip it to 600. So this is more what was stated in that little banter, is we could actually just import and export stuff and make a profit. I never really experimented a whole lot with this. I mean, this is a 50% swap. This is literally a 50% swap, so it's not that bad of a deal. Let's import corn and export corn. Let's see how that works. I haven't really given that a fair shake, to be honest.
My friends is smuggling.
4 docks is a lot of money. Let's go ahead and start exploring more of the island. We'll get technology later that will actually make exploration free or worthless or something. Just go right there. Our troops will walk a line all the way to where it is, reveal a large circle. So I want a large circle right here, and then they'll retreat back to the palace. That's really all there is to it. Man, I can't upgrade any of the fun stuff I want to do until later stuffs. I spend a lot more time in World Wars and Cold Wars than the other 2 phases of the game. Right now we're fighting with the Majesty, His Royal Majesty, with our mandate. The mandate is what's keeping us here. We are pressed into His Majesty's service to govern this island, yeah? So that's how this works. In later terms, we have to just get re-elected. That's all there is to it. So we have to stay with the approval rating of the people, and that's what keeps us in office. That's effectively how that's going to work. How many people do I have? Okay. This is what I like to see. I want to make sure there's no unemployment. If there's rampant unemployment, that means people can't afford to live in houses. If they can't afford to live in houses, that means that, well, people are very unhappy. They don't have jobs, they don't have food, they don't have housing. They just end up emigrating or leaving Tropico. Just going to sit here for a minute. We're still exporting fruits, so we'll get another 6,000 there. A new library gives us revolutionary support. Not super interested in that. 17 new citizens. Only 7 of them are unemployed. Oh, right, because we had 10 open jobs already. We could do yet another plantation. Yet another dock. Docks aren't really that expensive, to be honest. 3,000 some odd. But like I said, the bigger problem you're going to have is when you have too few docks, and later on when people are using cars and transport vehicles, they just stock up here like insane. And the real issue with that is you're not getting the money because all the money's sitting on the dock. Yeah? That's kind of how that works. Let's see here. I build my roads kind of in like some sort of a grid formation. How about right here maybe? Cool. Let's get another dock. I'm going way ham on these docks. I get it. Road that right there, I guess. I wouldn't mind another Teamster office, another construction office, another plantation, and to be absolutely honest, that's well over how many people I have. But it does show some availability, keeping open jobs kind of high. Another coffee, maybe? And then I'm thinking a ranch. Do I have the arrow right? Yeah, I totally do. Okay. Let's do that. And another cattle ranch. Again, the benefit of this is the upgrade allows the efficiency to expand a bit. It actually manure spreads around. So that's good. Let's see here. Edicts. We still have extra rations active. Awesome. Probably gonna need more housing. Let's check on our housing real quick here. Some homelessness. Some illiterates are homeless. Now, we can tell... I know what the problem is. Did I just... Oh, I clicked on the person. Hold on. Happiness, housing, shack. If I click on this, this will zoom into the shack. And this kind of, again, gives me the indication of A, there's not enough housing. B, there's not enough open jobs for people to work to afford housing. Now, see, that's not true, the first one, because there's plenty of open housing here. But again, people want to live near where they work. That's kind of the deal. I would very much like another Catholic mission right over here. I realized we were kind of tipping into some higher usage. Like here, yeah, 100% use. Want to make sure everyone's happy. That's going to help our approval rating. We need to be above 50 in order to declare independence. We're going to get export fruits. This is going to give me, yep, another 6-month mandate extension. We got plenty of time. I could declare independence right now, for sure. But I want to spend all the time I can building up that sweet, sweet economy. Looks good to me. And we'll set up housing and everything here. Another little housing district. Just chilling out a little bit here. Let our construction workers finish up this Catholic mission. As I mentioned before, we can cancel the construction at any time while it's being built. We could also quick build, which just effectively throws money at it and it just builds it instantly. I will take another 6-month extension. Thank you very much. If you're new to Tropico, my recommendation is absolutely always take the mandate extensions. Always. No matter what, give yourself plenty of time in the first era. You're just trying to get your feet wet and figure out how the mechanics work. It's always a good call. You can always wait around for money, but I mean, if the money's critical, you know, take the money. But my recommendation, just no need to rush it. We can stay in this era for another 2 years. Not a problem. Okay, so how many open jobs we got? 18, 10 unemployed. My word. Quite a bit of workers available. And this will hopefully help our approval rating by a good margin. If we find we don't have enough workers, I think we only had the one high schooler here. High school educated. We could also invite foreign workers if we need to. Oh, position got filled. Nice. What that'll do is we'll pay someone to come from somewhere else to fill the job. Exactly what happens. Okay, so what am I missing? What are people cheesed off about? I need a little more happiness here. Entertainment. We have 2 taverns. Are these both full up? Is that the problem? My word, that is a problem, for sure. Let's go ahead and hit up entertainment. Another tavern right there would be good. What else do our people need? Food? Food happiness is crazy good. Crime safety. A lot of negatives here. What we can do to improve crime safety is start to build military buildings. Guard towers are, well, they're guard towers. Benefit of them is they also reduce crime. So I'm going to throw one there, one there. Let's chuck us, how about one right there? One right there. Little bit of investment, but that'll reduce crime. Crime safety? It'll increase crime safety? Well, I don't want the crime to be safe. I want the people to be safe. That just sounds really weird. It'll increase crime safety. Wait. We could have also built something more expensive called a military fort, which is quite a bit more expensive from an upkeep side. And these are like little police stations. They protect an area. And they are targets to be engaged. More upgrades that I don't have capability of. We have 2 that are built. We'll wait till all 4 are built, and then we'll check crime safety and see if that number's changed. It certainly should have. These take 2 illiterates. Not too bad. That one's built. Cool. Let's go ahead and check our almanac. Crime safety is 24. Better. That's better than it was. Police stations, military forts, and other structures will do a better job with that. But hey, we're above 50. I'm pretty happy right now. We've got a good amount of coin, too. We can declare independence anytime we want. Pretty delighted with this. How many unemployed do we have? 20 open jobs. Cool. I could pretty much sit back, sip on some tea, crack my knuckles, and just relax for a little bit. Now, there are far better strats, I'm sure, at making money, min-maxing, just trying to get everything... Oh gosh, that scares me every time. Autosave. Hello. There's probably better strats, like emphasizing specific products, going down a specific product chain. There's also logging. There's... Oh.
The revolutionaries are demanding that you insult the king.
Yeah, I'll insult the king.
It has been decided that an insulting letter is the best way to get our point across.
The queen is a blank, the king is a blank, blank blank the king blank.
The king congratulates your attempts at romantic poetry. He says your piece is one of the better he has read in the last few years.
You managed to get out of a difficult situation. Good job. My expletives were branded as poetry. Most excellent. 11 unemployed, 11 open jobs. This seems to work out really easily. Cool. More happiness. Everything's looking good. Yeah, sitting on a really nice chunk of change. What we're going to do when we declare independence, we're going to say that we do not wish to engage militarily. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a debt. A sovereign debt, it's called. And then I'll just pay it back in the next age. Sovereign debt will open up in the World Wars era, which we're very soon to get into. But this is a very good start. Oh, just to finish the thought before, other things that we haven't really touched upon are plank production. We could harvest the trees and turn them into planks, and that's a good product. That's a good way to make some money as well. But yeah, as of right now, I'm really happy with what we've got. Did our crime safety go up anymore? No, the guard towers, man, I thought they did more than that. That's okay. If I have a lot of homeless, real quick. Housing, we have some shacks over there, which is interesting, because these aren't full yet. Well, they're getting there. One of the things that we can talk about more are edicts. Urban development is something that's really great. It decreases the cost of all residential buildings by 50% for the next 2 years. Now let's do a little math here. If I wanted to build a country house, half of this is only 600, so I'd have to buy 12 of them for it to even out. When we get to houses, tenements, apartments, and modern apartments and stuff gets more and more expensive, that edict gets crazy good. Just crazy good. Okay. I've got about just enough time to sip some water and then move on to the next age. Make sure you're getting up and stretching and... Oh! I forgot about this event.
But he somehow managed to get himself kidnapped by vicious pirates along the way. I had nothing to do with it. Nothing they can prove, at least.
So basically, our replacement was supposed to take over, but he got done killed, and I get extended for 12 more months. That happens only once at the 6-month mark, and I completely forgot about it. You get all this. Cool, you did. Awesome. This is really about all the territory I'll need. In the next age, we're going to get a research called the Compass. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to have a dry dock, which is awesome. And also, it'll explore the entire island for free. That's one of the reasons why I'm not doing a ton of exploration. Also, we don't have any resources up here. Again, I don't have bauxite, or uranium, or gold, or iron, or coal, or anything. So doing a ton of exploration actually doesn't help me a bunch. How are we doing on unemployed 4? Huh? Wait, who's unemployed? A college student, really? Okay. Just gonna wait. In the next age, we'll unlock high schools and a bunch of other stuff. So just for right now, I'm just gonna chill. Stock up as much cashy money as I can. And then we move to the next era, we'll get a bunch of new houses, new services we'll have to provide. The game ramps up fairly well. Yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say. The game ramps up well. All the technology is segregated in between the eras pretty logically. Pretty satisfied with it. Unemployed 7. Okay, so I will like a plantation over here. I guess more coffee. The price of stuff you're producing does not degrade with quantity, meaning if I have 9 plantations and literally all they do is coffee, that's fine. There's no problem with that. Nothing changes. The price of coffee doesn't drop. Nothing gets weird. Actually, let's check on our trades. How's this still going? I'm guessing good. Is there an economics for trade? Okay. Huh. I don't think I understand what this is telling me, so let's just ignore it. Whee! Some of the corn, it's a foodstuff, so some of our people might actually be eating it. And we might be getting a happiness bonus based on food happiness, or benefits based on food happiness, because different foodstuffs help. Yeah, right here, food happiness. Food variety 4. Actually, corn is not added to this list, so that's fine. Okay, so as we're ticking down, we'll get one more prompt that will say, hey, if you buy the Majesty a tea set for 10,000 monies, he'll extend your mandate another year.
His Majesty's
Yep, right here.
is approaching.
Oh, 6 months. No, I don't think so. I'll save my money. So we're going to wait all the way to about 2 months. This game has been glitchy on me before. When I've waited to exactly 1 month, what'll happen is the game will be like, oh, nuts to you. And it's like, it just ticked and I paused. I should have at least a little bit of time, but nope. So once it's 2 months, we'll declare independence, and we'll just go from there. Unless my approval rating drops for some reason. 52,000 going to the next age, that's pretty solid. We've got a good backbone economy. We have all of our illiterate grade school workers doing work. There's not a lot of unemployment, if any. I'm really happy with how this is panning out. So once that says 2 months right here. And ding. So proclaim our independence. We have 2 options. We can either buy our freedom, which is what I'm going to do, or we can let them come, which we have to fight off the crown. I don't have any military at all, so we're just going to buy our freedom. Well, I do have some military in the palace, but that's about it. So we get a little blurb about what happens. And now we get to establish our constitution. What does our governmental system look like? Voting rights, religion and state, armed forces. There are always 3 options in between each of these. So for voting rights, I always choose all citizens vote. Choices are wealthy citizens, male citizens, and all citizens. More voters based on crazy liberal ideas. More people are happy because they can vote. Religion and state. Increased liberty happiness is where this usually sits. We can go theocracy, which religion buildings also lower crime. Or atheist state, which research is faster by 10%, less religious citizens appear in Tropico. Now, to be absolutely honest about it, religion is actually a really great way to keep people happy. A lot of religious structures really help the religious, really works out nicely. Atheist state is also one of my go-tos in case I really want to rush technology. Absolutely honest, we're just playing sandbox. I'm not in a rush. If I was playing against somebody, I'd probably go atheist state. Let's stick to secular state. Armed forces also breaks down in a couple of things. We can have a militia, which is high school soldiers, additional militia squads raised in battle. Conscription, which is the default, no education. or professional army. High school soldiers, high effectiveness. Now, high school soldiers means they're being educated up to high school level. Right now, your military is mostly illiterate. I'm going to stick with conscription because I'd rather save my high school educated for jobs. Hit the red seal. Presses that into our governmental system. Now, all of the research of the next age is tapped out. Table manners, because we need to deal with the world powers. We'll have to build an embassy and deal with them. Oh, we're not that far yet. Whoops. Oh, there's the embassy. Legalese allows for additional constitution options. Table manners allows for delegations and alliances. Tanks allow an army base. And the compass, that's what I'm rushing for. It requires 4 technologies, so we rush compass. That gives us the dry dock, and it reveals the entire map for us. No more exploration. Works out real well. Then we'll backtrack and do power plant, steel, socialism, generals. That's all we got right now. So cool. Now we have a ton more structures to build, and now let's kind of walk through it a bit. We have industry. We had a lumber mill, but we also get textile mills now. Under luxury goods, we have cigar factory and rum distillery. Each of these require a resource. So cigar factory requires tobacco. Rum distillery requires sugar. The textile mill requires cloth and wool. For residential, we have houses and tenements that are opened. Mansions are built for the ultra-rich. I rarely ever build mansions, to be honest. Entertainment and environment, we had tavern. We also now get restaurant. For luxury entertainment, we get the cabaret. Ancient ruins. We already had opera house, but I need college-educated people to run that. For tourism, we get that in the next era, so I'm not super worried about that. Welfare and media. We already had Catholic mission, grocery, newspaper. We now get clinic, a church, and a police station. Police station is what's going to help with that crime. For research and education, high school, college, observatory. For economy. Economy and foreign relations, we'll unlock the dry dock and the embassy and the bank in this phase. That'll help out nicely. For military, we already just unlocked the barracks by coming to this age. It produces squads of infantry. We'll get an army base which produces tanks as well. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh.
This is Lulu, your radio host at the Jolly Roger Bar and Radio. Stay tuned for the best Tropico can offer. Or even better, come and join me for a drink on the beach.
She is insane. So, I did want to go through another residential project. 25. Half of this is 1,200. So if I use that edict I mentioned earlier, I only need to build 7 of these houses to make it pay off. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, before we do that though, we've unlocked World War edicts. Under sovereign debt, this is where I was saying that I'll accept the debt. This is where it is. I'm going to buy back all of my debt. And you can use this when you're really, really low on cash. But the thing is, I would be paying interest on that, and being in debt makes me cry. Okay, back to this. Let's see here. Agricultural subsidies increases effectiveness of all plantations and hydroponic farms. That is a lot of our economy, so I'm going to issue that. Let's go back here. I'm not done with you. Urban development, decrease the cost of all residential buildings by 50% of their base price for the next 2 years. Yes. Thank you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build a little bit of a residential sector here. I put those large gardens so that way people will actually want to move in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That just paid it off easily. 8, 9, 10. Okay, get some really good stuff here. I would like a high school. When you don't have arrows coming out of a structure, let me better describe this with a plantation. See the arrow at the top part of it right there? That shows the direction it has to be facing to touching road. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter how you build it. So I'm going to get a high school right there. Just right in the middle of everybody. Get a few more houses slapped down. Oh, actually, we'll wait on the houses. I want a restaurant or 2. Cool. I'm also going to start to need clinics. Clinics are basically just walk-in little mini hospitals, I guess, if I had to describe it. I also need a church. And that should pretty much... Oh, grocery as well. That should pretty much satisfy a lot of the needs of these people. We need a high school to start training and learning, I guess, our populace. Keeping everyone at illiterate status is easier to govern, but I can't tap any of the bigger stuff unless we have an educated workforce. I mean, you could literally take the page out of the book 1984. You know, a stupid population is an easy to govern population or what have you, but I want my people to know stuff and things. I really do. A lot of benefit to it, like I said, that allow me to tap into some of the later technologies. It'll also allow me to use the later industries. I think I need at least educated or high school educated people in order to... This road crosses an unexplored area. Okay, whatever. What was I saying? I need high school educated individuals in order to work in the factories. Speaking of which, let's take a look at our workforce right now. Unemployed, 0, 10 open jobs. Yep, I'm just going to leave it. One of the bigger difficulties I've had with this game, trying to learn it, has been overbuilding. And by that I mean when you hit this age and you got your 50,000 or whatever, it's like, bam, I want 2 tobacco factories, turn that crap into cigars. I need 2 rum distilleries. Like, you throw down a ton of industry. And it's like, why is no one working my stuff? Why is no one working my stuff? I just built this fresh factory. And it's like, dude, no one knows how to use the machinery. You need high school educated people. All you got's a bunch of illiterates. Why don't you build up your infrastructure, huh? So anyway, that's the logic behind that. Got some good houses. Let's take a look at the effectiveness. Plus 14 because of the beauty of the parks. Plus 20 because of housing complex. These houses benefit that if you build a bunch of them next to each other or whatever, they do gain... They daisy chain? They gain benefit off of each other is what I'm trying to say. Look at that. We've already got a sick amount of money coming in. This is great. Okay. We're going to get more houses done. Like, right now is the time that I'm going to be spending down my surplus. 5, 6. And because housing is crazy cheap, I can build a bunch of it and then kind of leave it alone. Now, that all being said, we have to be careful. Because if we go too crazy on stuff, we still have to pay upkeep on these houses. That doesn't change. So we're going to have to be kind of careful on how stuff works. There we go. 20 citizens arrive in Tropico. Cool. We've got jobs. We've got places for them to live. We got everything. And let's see here. High school. I would like a manager. Let's see here. Union leader for better job quality. Mentor, supervisor. Yeah, building effectiveness. Let's hire you. Cool. Now, I don't know if this works the way I think it does, but what I always do is I always max out my education. This provides wealth that is rich, but it also makes the workers more effective.
Just grow a pair, people. I once had a whole sea urchin stuck in my foot. But did I go to clinic? No. Then, when an over-friendly llama attacked me while I was removing the urchin and I had to fight it off, did I go to clinic like a crybaby? No. And when I finally had to run across the entire island after the llama came back with his friends in stilettos, no. I just went to my secret rum stash and drank it all. Like old Tropicans should, instead of going to a clinic like a bunch of pansies.
Lulu's absolutely insane. One of the upgrades in the new age from churches and religious structures increase housing quality of residents in the vicinity by 10, but the budget is increased by 25. We're going to do that. It's called community aid. I also have to come here and do that here as well. Community aid. Community aid. So these houses, even though they're kind of crap, should be getting some real serious effectiveness. Oh, it's quality. Not effectiveness, quality. I sometimes get those confused. Let's hire 2 foreign workers. And let's hire a foreign worker here. A little bit of money, but I want to make sure our religious structures are filled up. And now that we're in the new age, we get all kinds of new stuffs. Let's see here.
It was a resounding success. Now they have no one to revolt against.
Okay, so we can pay $10,000 to import the communist revolution. I will accept it. We'll deal with it later.
As my father used to say, ignorance is bliss.
Sending a dynasty man on vacation will be available for some time. Oh, cool. Someone on vacation. Angelica. There you go. Let's talk about communists. When it really comes down to it, there are different political parties that are a part of Tropico. Either religious, militarist, nationalists, communist, industrialists, capitalists, globalists, environmentalists? I think I got them all. That's broken down here into factions.
I am so glad that there is a new church on the island. Jesus taught us many important things like surfing and turn the other cheek. I often disregard that last rule and punch the guy instead, but I always feel guilty afterwards.
So, each of these factions are broken down into constituents that will vote for you. Keeping them happy is what's important. For example, the religious will always be happy for new religious buildings. Because they're a majority of my population, it's important to keep the religious happy. In terms of economy, the communists, it's also important to keep them happy. And this is what's helping our approval rating over here of 71. Now, if we want more communists on the island, this will work out well because communists already enjoy me. They like what I'm doing. So importing more communists isn't a bad thing. But this is where we can really get into everything of what is going on and what they like. And down below you can see pluses and minuses. This is what people are looking for. This is what they don't like. That kind of a thing. So, I'm just going to leave that be as is. Now that we're building a ton of new infrastructure. Oh, cool.
So, we decided to steal France's greatest achievements. Unfortunately, we broke into their museum of military accomplishments and all I found was this white flag. It seems we will have to work on our diplomacy skills.
What? It's just so good. Okay, so we built a whole mess of stuff. Let's check our open jobs, because I'm sure we're going to have a mess. Nope. Where are we? There we go, 29. Okay, I'm just going to leave that be for a minute, because we're going to have a lot of backfill here. And I would very much like to invite a foreign worker. "26 citizens arrive." This is kind of how a lot of these management games go, right? You match the supply versus the demand, make sure that you've got enough people in the right place doing the right job and all that. And then when it really comes down to it is matching whatever changes. Let's hire an inventor here. We had 50 RP. Get another 10 RP. Where did it just show that? 33. Oh, somebody left. Lame. Let's go ahead and max out the budget for this. There we go. Okay, I want more RP. I want to get to the dry dock as quickly as we can. People are enjoying the cabaret. That's awesome. In addition to exporting goods, products, services, and stuff on our own, we'll also get money for stuff that's done inside of the city. For example, entertainment, our cabaret is actually making money for us, which is great. It kind of really maintains a self-sufficient economic cycle, which is awesome. Speaking of awesome things, is there anything we can trade? Bananas are a really good price. And this is where we're going to see more of the standing. We have the allies and the Axis powers here. If we trade with one, we're going to cheese off the other. So it's important to keep that in mind. A lot of import stuff. Hand goods, planks. Let's go ahead and start building our embassies that I need. I'll need 2 embassies because we'll actually be able to court both of these powers at the same time. I would like some small gardens. Boop, boop, ba-doop, boop, boop, ba-doop, boop. And yes, the voice was necessary. So one embassy is going to house our delegation to the Allies, and the other one's going to house our delegation to the Axis powers.
The world is at war.
Have 3 barracks. I'll accept it, and we'll get to that probably later. I will need some military support. In order to get out of this era, we will have to commit to some combat. So we'll eventually get there when some of this other infrastructure stuff fills in. But until then, whee! Let's see here. I wouldn't mind another... Oh, where is it? The clinic? Right there? When in doubt, if I don't know what to put, I always fill it with a lot of perks. I know you have some upgrades I want. Hospitalization wing and obstetrics wing. Increases birth rate and can see more people. What else? We have another clinic going in there. Everything's looking pretty good. Our approval rating's at 79%. That first age, the colonial age, is really, really touch and go. You don't have access to a lot of your structures. You got to be really careful on how you handle things. It's a little hard to screw up once you get into the feel of it, though. Once you get into the real rhythm of it, it's kind of hard to screw up. Is urban development... Okay, urban development's done. Okay, I built a lot of houses. We got some really good bang out of that buck.
Presidente, Tropicans await elections next year. They wish to show their everlasting love and respect for you. They may have used different words, but that does not matter.
Okay, so basically we're saying we want to fulfill our promise and say, yes, we'll have elections, or, you know what, we don't need them. I know people love me. Also the Allies sent us money. So yes, of course, I'm going to vote Xavier Megacycle as Presidente. Now that we have our 2 embassies, I'll invite the Allies to this one. I'll invite the Axis to this one. Up here is their standing, how much they like us. If they hate us, or start to get aggressive, they could invade us, and I don't have enough stuff right now, so I'm going to praise the Axis power. It went from 45 to 60. Because I praised the Axis, the Allies dropped from 60 to 50. Let's see, what do we have now? Build a clinic. Increase standing with communists. Okay. I don't have a clinic down here. That sounds like a good move. Boop. And also, speaking of boop, you get your upgrades as well. Oh, do we get them both? I did. Okay, cool. If you click on it, you can easily tell when you need more stuff is when you're maxed out.
Presidente, I hereby
Additional constitution options unlocked. I'm just going to click that past. Okay. So we unlocked before our colonial constitution. Ugh, a lot of words. Now we have our World Wars constitution. So we go through the same. There's always 3 selections and 3 options for every selection. So political rights. Totalitarian state. Elections happen more or less often. Vote frauds give 300% more votes, 50% more rebels. The default is police state. Every policeman convinces 1 voter to vote for you. Or democracy. Mandatory elections that happen more often, no uprisings. I like democracy. Labor policy. Work for all. Child labor and late retirement, life expectancy, and job happiness reduced. The default is happy childhood. Late retirement, normal life expectancy, and job happiness. Workers' paradise. Early retirement, high job happiness. I like happy childhood. It seems like a good middle ground in between the two. And citizenship. Visa program. More educated immigrants. Immigrant nation is the default. Open borders. Easier to immigrate and emigrate. And guarded haven. Heaven? Heaven. Right. Regulated borders, harder to immigrate and emigrate. I go immigrants nation. Let people come in. We'll educate them up. Put them to work. Whatever. Cool. So that presses that into our constitution. Now that we said that we would allow an election, at the very bottom you'll see that there is an election occurring. Xavier Megacycle at a 79% approval rating versus Esmeralda Rodriguez at 24% approval. Sorry, Esmeralda. I think I've got this in the bag. So we're just gonna wait until the months have elapsed, then the voting will occur, and then whoever is the victor becomes the new El Presidente. Now, this is another junction where I could lose the game. If I lose an election, my entire family gets kicked off the island. This is fairly familiar, I think, like Crusader Kings, I think, has like the same system. If you don't have an heir to the throne, you lose. You're done playing the game. So we want to make sure that our people stay in power as much as possible, maintain a very high approval rating where we can, make sure the needs of the peoples are met, and make sure just everyone, thinks I'm a pretty alright guy. Later on, we can deal with bribery. We can banish people from Tropico. We can actually have people executed if we're having a real issue with stuff. There's a lot of options we can do to kind of curb things. Your dynasty members return for 2-year vacation while rested and literally bursting with ideas. Yes, literally. Meaning if we don't implement at least one of them, your dynasty member may burst. Which one should we implement? Immigration reform, 30 people immigrate to the island, appropriations bill, because I built it, 2 free buildings. Oh, immigration reform, heck yeah. How much open jobs we got? 3, okay. Well, we could use some more jobs then. 30 citizens arrive. What kind of people we looking like? Yeah, literate, grade school, high school, that's kind of what I thought. Let's go ahead and get at least 1 police station. Right there looks good to me. Okay, I need more jobs. Oh, right. So real quick before we kind of call this an episode, right before the election occurs, we get one more chance if we want to say, hey, we could rig those elections a little bit, or we could just say, you know, we could win without cheating. I think I've only had to call fraud once. We win without cheating, 1 month will pass. 1 month will pass. 1 month. Oh, and then autosave, of course. Okay, so that's when it says what's your approval rating. That's how many votes that you get based on a percentage. And then this is where it would be like, nope, you lost, get out. But we had a 74% approval rating. Happy, happy. Go ahead and pause right here. We got a lot done in 2 episodes. I'm really happy with this. So thanks again for joining me. John Megacycle here. Another episode of Tropico 5 is in the books. And I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.